Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Bruce Frisco. It is Monday, the 1st of June. This is CTV News. Tonight, why did the Maritime provinces get bad grades in Canada's poverty report card? AI in class, how one province hopes it'll help shore up test scores. And that's a wrap. This year's IWK Telethon for Children is a record breaker again.
Live from our Maritimes News Center, this is CTV News. Here is Bruce Frisco.
Good evening. More proof tonight. Many Maritimers, including people with full-time jobs, are struggling to pay the bills. In fact, a new poverty report card says many folks are regularly visiting food banks. CTV's Hafsa Arif has more.
It's the end of food pickup at Parker Street Food and Furniture Bank. The shelves stocked this morning are now bare, and volunteers are already preparing for the next round tomorrow.
Our registrations are probably anywhere between 15 to 20 a week, when it used to be closer to probably 10 to 15.
For organizations, the numbers in Food Banks Canada's newest poverty report card aren't surprising, rating Nova Scotia a D overall, alongside several other provinces. But it is up from last year. Still, Nova Scotia received a failing grade for both poverty and food insecurity.
On average, we're clocking almost 2,000 visits daily through our network, and that's the highest number we've seen, and up 8% since last year.
And it's worse in other maritime provinces. PEI went from a C- to a D+, while New Brunswick received the country's only failing grade.
So there's a growing portion of people using food banks who have jobs and who can't afford to make ends meet. But we also are looking at the unemployment rate as food bankers and getting quite worried.
Which is a reason why Food Banks Canada insists on major changes to employment insurance, warning the system hasn't kept up with the way people work today.
We have over 24% of people accessing our food banks report some kind of income.
And many aren't covered when work suddenly disappears.
System built for a workforce in the 1990s where people worked regular 40-hour work weeks with the same employer, and it isn't responsive to the needs of today's workforce where a lot of people are working.
CTV's Hafsa Arif with that report. Well, police in Fredericton do not expect to lay charges in connection with a fatal accident last week. A car and a transport truck collided on the Princess Margaret Bridge on Friday. 3 women were in the vehicle. 23-year-old driver along with a 41-year-old passenger died at the scene. A second passenger, a 24-year-old woman, was taken to hospital with serious injuries. The truck driver was also taken to hospital, later released. The investigation is ongoing. 38-year-old Millbrook man is facing drug and tobacco charges tonight after a traffic stop near the Halifax airport. RCMP say they pulled over a Dodge pickup with tinted front windows near Halifax Stanfield last Thursday morning. They wound up seizing some unstamped tobacco, including 60,000 cigarettes, 17,000 cigars, and some illegal cannabis. In addition, the truck was seized under the Excise Act.
Get the Maritimes top stories, breaking news alerts, and watch live. Download the CTV News app.
5 public libraries in Nova Scotia's Annapolis Valley will be permanently closed later this month because of a lack of funding. The 11-branch Annapolis Valley Regional Library System says the decision was made after the province confirmed there will be no increase in provincial library funding in the upcoming fiscal year. The nonprofit group says all 8 municipalities it serves had committed additional money, but those contributions won't be enough to cover the lack of funding increases from the province. New Brunswick has unveiled a very ambitious education plan for the English and French school systems. The strategy will see more staff and support for students in an effort to raise math and literacy scores. However, artificial intelligence will also have a place in the classroom. CTV's Josh Smith has details.
A gathering today at Northrop Fry School in Moncton as the New Brunswick government unveiled its new roadmap for education. It lays out a 12-year vision, but will be reviewed every 3 years.
We had 14,000 people consult on this one. It was done through consultation with multiple partners, with multiple people, with a lot of different stakeholder engagement and community engagement.
Part of the lengthy blueprint includes children have strong foundational skills in literacy and numeracy. Children, youth, and the workforce experience safe and supportive learning and working environments that promote well-being and belonging. And children and youth benefit from strong collaborations that support foundational learning and well-being.
This plan makes it clear that the pressure is to focus on those fundamentals and make sure that that literacy and numeracy time and the students' well-being are being supported.
With a growing student population, staffing remains another major focus. The province says it will retain and recruit educational assistants, resource teachers, and counselors.
Our schools are overflowing. We are out there trying to build schools faster than governments have ever done before. They used to build them at a rate of 2 schools a year. We were falling behind. Our government is trying to get up to 4, 5, 6 target of 6 schools a year.
The plan also recognizes technology is changing in the classrooms with artificial intelligence, but schools say they need to evolve with technology.
It has shifted the society in which we live in. Therefore, whether it be healthcare or whatever industry it is, education being one of them, they're making sure we're preparing students for the world they're going to inherit, for the world they want to create.
The French plan places greater emphasis on Acadian identity. Officials say both plans will be measured through annual reviews so parents won't have to wait 12 years to see the results. Josh Smith, CTV News, Moncton.
After more than 2 years of labor turmoil, Canada Post workers have voted 85% in favor of a new contract. The agreement includes wage increases of 6.5% in year 1, 3% in year 2, while providing what union brass call greater job security. The vote brings an end to an extended, often bitter bargaining process that saw workers on picket lines on several occasions. Canada Post CEO Doug Ettinger says the vote results provide stability for employees and will help restore public confidence in the federal postal system. The dairy giant Agripure today providing its vision for its expanding plant in Miramichi. The company, you know, has faced criticism for closing one plant while growing another, partly with taxpayer dollars. CTV's Avery McCrae has more.
By carton, bag by bag, Agripure's Miramichi facility claims it will soon be the home of maritime milk.
The intention is that this become a center of excellence for our fluid milk.
It will be done through a $20 million upgrade to the facility, $2.4 million of which is coming from the province. The plant's director says the Miramichi site will focus on filling your standard milk bags and cartons.
A new machine that will come, a more faster machine and bigger machine that we currently have. So it will give us more capacity and we'll be able to produce more milk.
Agripure says the upgrades will increase their manufacturing on site by 50%, meaning milk produced in New Brunswick stays in the Maritimes.
As of now, we have not enough processing in New Brunswick. And to have added processing is excellent for us.
But the upgrades are leaving a bad taste in other communities. Improvements to the Miramichi plant will come at the expense of dairy town near Sussex, which will close in 2028, resulting in 60 job losses.
From a New Brunswick perspective, we are disappointed. But we look at it as a maritime perspective, and all the investment that Agripure is making, it is very good for the dairy farmers.
The upgrades here will lead to 15 additional jobs to bring the staff total to 115. And when asked if those roles could be filled by Agripure employees near Sussex,
we are in discussion with the union right now. We have to keep in mind that this plant will continue its operation as they are for the next 2 years. But obviously we're working with all of our network to see how we will plan the labor for this initiative.
The upgrades are expected to be completed in 2027. While this facility will focus on fluid milk, upgrades to Agripure's site in Bedford, Nova Scotia will concentrate on value-added protein products, which is something the company says is growing in demand. Avery McCrae, CTV News, Miramichi.
Well, this spring has certainly kept agriculture producers busy. Vegetable farmers have been optimistic about the progress of crops, but late frost and cold temperatures have left them scrambling to make sure that those crops aren't lost. Many producers have been covering the crops at night to protect them and conserve water.
Frost this spring has been considerable, like a lot of sleepless nights, a lot of water, like I said, being run, so we've had to watch the water consumption.
We have corn that's up too, can burn that, and beans, but we try to keep most stuff covered. Potatoes too.
The Gouchers say beet greens, string beans, peas, potatoes, squash, and apples are all looking pretty good at the moment. And from our You Don't See This Very Often file, something you really don't see very often. Ron and Kim De Silva were quick to capture this video in their neighborhood in Upper Kingsclear last week. If the ghostly image there looks a bit familiar, it should. This is an albino porcupine. We shared the video with Andrew Hebda, the former curator of zoology at the Nova Scotia Museum of Natural History. He said he was impressed, telling us he's only heard of a couple other cases in recent years, both of them out west. Judging by the video, Andrew thinks the animal is fairly young and adds albino cases are very rare in mammals, less than 1 in 10,000. And that is another reason we're pretty happy that De Silva has opted to share this remarkable video with us. Okay, still to come tonight, Kaylin's full forecast, and we'll celebrate our blue backyard by telling you about Ocean Week, which kicked off today. Coming up next, though, unsteady ground.
The soil is quite gravelly, so it's bound to move.
Erosion has heavily damaged a store in one maritime community, and residents say this has been an ongoing problem. Details are next. Come on back.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Move 100's $10,000 Move It or Lose It is back.
Register for your shopping spree starting Monday at 6 a.m.
There is concern tonight in Grand Falls, New Brunswick, after a landslide damaged one of the stores in that community. Nobody was injured, but as CTV's Nick Moore tells us tonight, the issue of erosion has been a long-standing one around that town.
The erosion and the damage it created was discovered yesterday morning. There's been a partial collapse at the back end of Toner's food store along Tobick Street in Grand Falls. A corner of the store is now hanging over a steep embankment which leads to Falls Brook. Eric Gagnon is the Chief Administrative Officer for the Grand Falls Regional Municipality.
We do not know of any other active erosion zones within Falls Brook for now, but still we are waiting on other analysis from the engineers.
Local and provincial EMO have responded, while NB Power, which manages part of the property in the back, has been notified. The municipality says the area around here is considered unsafe, with barricades placed around the store.
We've also asked the owners to vacate the building as soon as possible.
A group of people who were trying to salvage what they could from the store said they were not talking to reporters today. There are 17 areas around Grand Falls that are deemed as being a high risk for erosion. It's been on the municipality's radar for well over a decade.
If you look at the riverbank here and the St. John riverbanks, they're quite high, and the soil is quite gravelly, so it's bound to move.
Grand Falls Mayor Bertrand Beaulieu hopes the municipality can work with the provincial and federal governments to come up with a long-term remediation plan. Meanwhile, there is sadness all around the area that a local landmark has been so affected. Nick Moore, CTV News.
Thank you, Nick. Time for a quick little break here, but when we return, your complete maritime weather forecast. Today was certainly more like it, wouldn't you say, after the rainy weekend? Kaylin, tell you what the rest of the week holds when we come back. Monday night, first day of June, feels like a clean start after kind of a dreary little stretch there.
We need it, don't we?
We do.
Yeah, it was chilly this weekend and a lot of cloud cover around as well. And we are going to see an improvement of temperatures as we make our way through this first part of June. I'm sure there's a number of people out there looking forward to a few warmer days. So that's coming up in the extended forecast. For tonight around the Maritimes, there's a few clouds around, low chance of a shower. Weather conditions a little bit unsettled as a trough of low pressure will be in place for the region for tomorrow. So as we take a look at our forecast timeline, that chance of a shower showing up here in through the greens, kind of highest around Prince Edward Island and northern eastern areas of Nova Scotia as we make our way through tonight and into the start of the day for tomorrow. In fact, Tuesday morning, I do expect there will be some showers present around areas of the north shore of Nova Scotia and into parts of Inverness County. A chance of a shower in Prince Edward Island, Cumberland, Colchester counties, and in around the Minas Basin and into northern areas of the Annapolis Valley. Making our way into Tuesday afternoon, it's a mix of sun and cloud, but showers become a little bit more widespread. We'll call it scattered showers. Prince Edward Island, across the south of New Brunswick and across Nova Scotia. And with the showers for tomorrow in the afternoon and extending into the early evening, there is a risk that a few of them could develop into some small thunderstorms with lightning and the potential for some small hail being the hazards. So scattered showers, risk of a few thunderstorms in the forecast for Tuesday. Taking a look at winds, they'll be a little bit variable in direction around the region. Mostly out of the north for the province of New Brunswick, sustained 10 to 20 kilometers per hour, a few gusts between 20 and 40. For Prince Edward Island, Nova Scotia, for much of the day out of the south and southwest, and again sustained 10 to 20 kilometers per hour with a few gusts up between 20 and 40. There's still some chilly temperatures for parts of the region for tonight and eastern areas of Nova Scotia underneath a frost advisory. There is a risk of some patchy frost. Taking a look at low temperatures in the forecast, we can see that some in that part of the province and part of the region can expect some lows to fall into a range of 0 to 4 degrees. Much of the rest of the Maritimes tonight with low temperatures falling between around 4 and 7. Highs in the forecast for tomorrow in the north of New Brunswick, mostly between 17 and 20 degrees, low 16 on parts of the coast. Down through central and southern parts of the province, low 20s in the southwestern corner, a little bit cooler in the southeast, most highs between 17 and 19 degrees. For Prince Edward Island on Tuesday, the high temperatures between 12 and 16. There will be that chance of a shower with a risk of a thunderstorm. And in eastern areas of Nova Scotia, a bit cooler in Cape Breton with highs of between 10 and 12 degrees. Around the North Shore, closer to 15. Coastal areas in the eastern shore, though, between around 10 and 13. 15 for Amherst, 15 for Truro, and for the city centers Halifax and Dartmouth. In the Annapolis Valley tomorrow, high temperatures close to 17 degrees. Down around the south shore of Nova Scotia, most of the high temperatures between 14 and 18. Chance of a shower, low risk of a thunderstorm. In the 7-day outlook for New Brunswick, sunnier, warmer weather in the forecast for Wednesday and Thursday. Right now, it's looking hot for early June. There'll be a chance of showers after that on Friday. Temperatures coming down a little bit on the weekend, but then look like they're going to be rising again. Another set of warm June days coming up next week. In the forecast for Nova Scotia, temperatures continue their climb upward as we head towards Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday of this week. Thursday and Friday could have high temperatures, mid-20s, maybe a little bit cooler on parts of the coast. Temperatures come down a little bit on the weekend with a chance of showers Saturday and Sunday, then a mix of sun and cloud and start to rise again for Monday of next week. And for Prince Edward Island in the outlook, we've got some sunshine ahead for Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday looking like the warmest day. High temperatures around the mid-20s, a little bit cooler on the coast. Low 20s for Friday with a mix of sun and cloud. Chance of showers on Saturday, and then after that, a mix of sun and cloud Sunday and Monday. Bruce.
Okay, thank you, my friend. We'll check in a little later for the wake-up weather. In the meantime, we'll step aside and we'll be right back. Promise.
The #1 morning show in Halifax. Turk, Megan, and Amateur Alex. And home to the biggest artists. Halifax's #1 hit music station. 101.3 Virgin Radio.
This is Ocean Week Canada, an opportunity to kind of dive into ocean awareness. From amazing marine life to tidal power and coastal conservation, organizers of the event hope Maritimers will go deep to understand our blue backyard. Here's CTV's Ryan McDonald.
get a conversation going on about climate change in the Bridor Lakes.
Eva Carmichael is from British Columbia. She has made it from the west coast of Canada to the east coast thanks to a grant through the Ocean Frontier Institute. Having lived near the Pacific and now the Atlantic, she has seen plenty about how our oceans are changing.
Water's getting warmer. We're seeing a lot of increased erosion, especially in coastal communities.
There's a lot of creatures in the lake that you don't find anywhere else until South Carolina.
Here at the Arish Namera Cultural Centre, which means House of the Sea in Gaelic, a lot of their focus during this Ocean Week Canada is on the unique marine biosphere which has made the Bridor Lake a UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Researchers can come and study here, and because of the location, they can do research about the lake, and they're not out on the ocean because it mimics it so much.
Here in Halifax, that relationship that we have to the ocean is really explicit.
In the provincial capital of Canada's Ocean Playground, there are 10 days of waterfront events on tap, capped off by World Oceans Day festivities on June the 8th.
But sometimes I think people forget that the ocean is everything. It supplies us with oxygen, with food, with livelihood, and it connects us all around the world.
I hope that I can still be swimming in clean waters and that we still have access to clean drinking water.
Ryan McDonald, CTV News.
Thank you, Ryan. Time for one more quick little break here. Coming up, a look back at another hugely successful IWK telethon. First, though, it's your wake-up weather. Here's a live look at the Armdale Roundabout in Halifax on this Monday night. Very light traffic at the moment. 8 degrees. Kalen's wake-up coming up next. It is technically now Tuesday morning, so we'll kick it off with a look at the wake-up weather and Kalen.
And I'm still going to call it a brisk start to the day on Tuesday. A lot of morning temperatures will be around the mid-single digits, a little bit chillier than that in east of Nova Scotia, where we've got some frost advisories. There's going to be a chance of showers in the morning, especially around Prince Edward Island, northern eastern areas of Nova Scotia, and then scattered showers Tuesday afternoon in the Maritimes, with the exception of northern areas of New Brunswick, which should just be a mix of sun and cloud. Keep in mind, where there are some showers present, Tuesday afternoon to early Tuesday evening, there will be a risk that a few of them could develop into some small thunderstorms. Bruce.
All right, thank you, sir. Well, the annual IWK telethon smashed expectations and records yet again this weekend. As CTV's Brianne Foley shows us tonight, the magic that lasted through the whole weekend will be felt long into the future.
Wow! Another record-breaking year for the IWK telethon.
The results were incredible. I mean, we live in a great part of the world. We really do. And we're just so grateful.
You can't discount maritime generosity. Like, Maritimers step up year after year.
With familiar faces making their way back on TV.
Go Jason! Go Jason!
And some new faces, too.
Everybody. Yeah.
Steve, I'm great. The impacts from the telethon continue to support Maritimers.
He goes to the hospital. It's usually trying times for it. It's not always just little appointments, but seeing that all these people and what can happen when a big group is supporting children, even through these hard times, I think that was really important for her to see.
Every year it just keeps getting better, but particularly this year, the two teams come together as one, and we just, it was flawless. Like, it was unbelievable.
Proof that Maritimers pushed up and stepped up once again for the region's children. Brianne Foley, CTV News, Halifax.
Exhausted just looking at it. Congratulations to everyone involved. Okay, that's your late news tonight. If you joined us late, you want another look at anything you've seen, ctvnewsatlantic.ca. It is always your home for news. I'm Bruce Briscoe. Thank you for staying up late with us tonight. Have a good evening. We hope to see you again tomorrow.